Sometimes life brings us challenges, and when attorney Ron Johnson goes to work every day, he's ready to fight for you. Ron Johnson represents clients in personal injury and wrongful death cases, provides mediation in matters such as wills and real estate transactions, and assists with Social Security disability. His goal is to serve his community and help his clients navigate complicated systems to access the benefits and fair treatment they are entitled to by law. He'll make sure you understand your rights and responsibilities and won't leave you behind to fend for yourself. Ron Johnson's office is local, and he is accessible to work with you personally, whether face to face, by phone, or video conference. Let his 53 years of experience help guide you to peace of mind and the best possible outcome in your case. Your first consultation is free. Charges for Social Security disability services are subject to approval by the Social Security Administration. Call the Law Office of Ron B. Johnson at 972-938-7163 or visit www.lawofficeofronjohnson.com to schedule your free consultation.
Hello, welcome back to Becky's Kitchen. Today we're going to do a wonderful recipe that I found and I couldn't wait to try it, and we have had it over and over. They're called Esquites Fritters. I didn't know what that meant, so I looked it up. Esquites, what I could find was corn salad, but this isn't salad. These are fritters, and I promise you, you're going to love them. So we start with making a sauce, and I actually think this sauce is one of the main reasons why we love these fritters. And it has a half a cup of sour cream, and you could use light or even no fat sour cream. However, the fritters are going to be fried, so I don't know if you want to even sacrifice on that. 2 tablespoons of mayo, 1 clove of garlic grated. This is like a medium-sized one. I think you can use how much you like garlic. And the juice of 1 lime. That's pretty simple, huh? It smells good, this lime. Makes me want a margarita. And these would be good with margaritas. We're just going to mix this up. And we do it first so all the flavors can kind of blend while we're doing everything else. And this, you can keep this in the fridge. It's good on other things too. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and put it in my little serving bowl I'm going to use later. Perfect. Okay, so that can be. Okay, now for the fritters. There's dry ingredients and the wet ingredients. We're going to the dry ingredients together first, and that involves half a cup of flour and 1/4 cup of cornmeal, just regular cornmeal. I don't think you have to be precise on this. A teaspoon of baking powder. This probably does make it better. A teaspoon of salt. Everything's a teaspoon. A teaspoon of chili powder. And then some freshly ground black pepper. And then I'm just going to whisk this up together and set it aside for just a minute while we work on the wet ingredients. Now the wet ingredients, I'll need a bigger bowl because eventually it's all going to end up in that bowl. Set this aside. So we have 1/3 cup of buttermilk. 1 egg that I just beat just a little bit. And 2 tablespoons of melted butter. Now whisk those together. Okay, now we're going to stir in 1.5 cups of corn. Now, you can use fresh corn, and like if you have a lot in your garden, that would be a good way to use it. But I just bought frozen corn, and I'll let it defrost and thaw, and I'm just going to put that in here, 1.5 cups of corn. And I even thought, if you really wanted to, you could even put that corn in a dry skillet, hot dry skillet, and get it kind of caramelized and charred a little bit. That would be good. Now also, you could put in chopped jalapenos. We're wimpy around here, so I left them out, but I think it'd be really good. Okay, now once that's done, now we will gently fold in the dry ingredients. Make sure you get all the dry ingredients on the corn. So it's actually, you couldn't even pour it really. It's not a thin batter, it's pretty thick. But we're going to fry it in about 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil. So it's time to move to the stove. So we have our Esquites batter here, and I've heated up some vegetable oil in my nonstick skillet, and it needs to be shimmering hot, and I think it's there now, so let's try. And you put it in there by spoonfuls, about a tablespoonful, and then kind of just spread it out a little bit. You can make them as big or as little as you want. I found out if they're a little bit thinner, they get crisper all the way through. So just takes about 2 minutes on each side. I've always heard if you don't fiddle with them, if it says 2 minutes on a side, then leave them down for 2 minutes. And when they're ready, they won't be sticking. I don't know. You do want them brown and crunchy. Let's get it. Oh, there. See how beautiful that is? That means it's time to turn them. One more. Got 2 more minutes. When I have a paper towel on a plate, and as I finish them, I'm going to just put them over there. If you were making a whole big batch, you might want to put them on a pan that can be put in the oven, but we're going to use these right away, so I'm just putting them on a plate. You can kind of tell because you want them to be done all the way through, so if they're a little mushy in the middle, just let them stay a little bit longer. That's why I like to make them small. It doesn't take so long to cook them. Okay, I'll put some more in while those are finishing up. This recipe probably makes about a dozen, I would say, depending on how big you make them. That's probably a good thing because I'm telling you, they'll just eat them until they're gone. So, best not to have too many on the platter. So the first time I made them, I was making a big pot of navy beans, and instead of cornbread, we had this, and it was delicious. I mean, it has cornmeal in it, so it's kind of like cornbread, and that was perfect with that. But it's also perfect just like for snacks, you know, like a little, sometimes you don't want to eat a whole meal and you just have some little tidbits, and this is a really excellent. Let's see how they're doing. Very good. Because that corn has sugar in it, so I think that's what helps them turn brown. And like I say, if you have jalapenos in them, I'm sure that'd be wonderful if you like jalapenos. Two more minutes. I think you could, in fact, I know you can, because we had some left over, and so the next day we heated them back up in the air fryer, and that was perfect, because they were crispy. And you might even be able to make them in an air fryer, but I don't know. You wouldn't have that grease. Okay, I think they're feeling very done. Take them out. Okay, and now I'm going to put them on a platter like I would if I were serving them for company, but you could eat them right from here if you want. Okay, now I've put them on a serving platter, and then there's just a few. I scattered some lime wedges around, and I put a little of the kosher salt on there. Some more of the cotija cheese. And some cilantro. Not that much. And there you have Esquites Fritters. And the website of ellisdownhome.com will have the recipe for these. That's all for today in Becky's Kitchen. See you next time.